How's it going, guys? I'm your host, Korriban Gaming. Welcome back to part 2 of the DragonFable in preparation guide. Now, initially, I didn't really have plans to make part 2, but I realized that I was leaving out some pretty important stuff. So I feel like, okay, you know what? I think I should make a part 2. Also, I didn't want part 1 to be too long. So that's why I tried to, keep part 1 to 30 minutes. But yeah, there's still some important information that I do want to cover that is pretty important for the in challenges, which is why I decided to make a part 2. So here we are. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right into it. The first thing that I want to talk about over here is 5 HP and 5 MP potions. Normally, you start off with 5 HP and 5 you start off with 2 HP and 2 MP potions every time you log in. Okay, this does not change. You are unable to change this at this point of time, but you can get up to a maximum of 5 HP and 5 MP potions. There are some quests, especially the book 3 quests, that has a potion chest that lets you refill up to 5 HP and 5 MP potions. However, those are very, very slow methods in my opinion, so I do not recommend you go ahead and use those methods. What you can do, and this is probably the most accessible method if you have a dragon amulet, is go to book 3, go to your travel map over here, Shapeless Empire, Nibelheim, go to the forum, and then you keep going right. Over here, and you talk to this guy, and you can refill up to 5 of each potion for only 2,000 gold. So this is pretty cheap, especially at endgame when you have nothing else to spend your gold on. Another method which is even faster, because this one you do need to travel quite a few screens. If you're pretty pay to win like I am, okay, you can go ahead and buy the house item, the potion house item over here, and you can just slap it anywhere in your house, and you can refill 5 HP and 5 MP potions from the comfort of your own house. The downside of this is that it does cost 500 more gold than the previous method that I showed just now. I do not know why you need to pay even more gold considering you are already spending DCs on this house item, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is another way of getting 5 HP and 5 MP potions. And the last method is if you're completely free to play and you want a faster method than going through the quests that give you the potion chest, what you can do is you can go ahead and head over to the inn over here, and you can do the Exaltia Tower challenges. It doesn't really matter which one you go for, but the fastest one, I think, don't go for Apex, go for Antechamber. That's the first one. Okay, so some of the options here, sometimes they'll give you the ability to give enemies a boost, and you can in exchange you get a HP or MP potion. So you just have to keep going in and backing out till you refill your potions to 5 each, because that is the maximum. Okay, so we still don't have any, so we'll just keep backing out and we'll keep continuing until we get what we want over here. 20 nope, still nothing. Nope, nope. Okay, still nothing it seems. Yeah, so this can take a little while if you're unlucky, but this is a 100% free method. You do not need to go ahead and spend any gold. So for those who are tight on gold, this is a really good way to get free potions. And for non-DA players, this is one of your few methods that you can use. Okay, depending on how lucky or unlucky you are, this may be slower than just going into the quest with, the potion chest, but I would say for the most part this is faster. So here you can see we have an option that gives us an MP potion. So now we have 2 HP pots and 3 MP pots. We gain 1 extra MP pot, and you don't have to fight any monsters. Once you get what you need, just back out and just go in again, rinse and repeat until you have 5 each. Okay, this is of course completely random, but it shouldn't take too long. All right, so this is another way that you can use to get up to 5 potions. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is food. And I realized that food items have a pretty large stigma inside of this game, especially if you're part of the community. I think that's pretty stupid. Food is part of the game, and no one should be ashamed of using food, especially if you need it to overcome some of the harder challenges. Okay, so use what you want. Nobody cares, and nobody is going to know how you're going to get the win as long as you get the win. Plus, this is part of the game, so it's something that the devs actually put in there for the more casual players, to help out the more casual players with some of the tougher in challenges. So do not be afraid to use it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with using it. Okay, so the easiest way is to go ahead and go to Ruby the Adventure Chef over here. Unfortunately, this is DA only, so you can click on it to purchase food, and you can purchase all of the food items at the top over here. Everything causes 1 defender's medal. So you do need to have some defenders medal stocked up if you want to go through this method. There are also other methods of getting the full items, which I'll go through in a bit. But yeah, the key items that you want to get is instant pierogi, number one. This can give you a MP heal over time. So this is useful for classes that that uses up a lot of MP, like your Katu Adept or like your Doom Knight class, especially for the longer drawn out battles. This will be useful. Next up, you also have Cocoa Berry Juice. This gives you a HP heal over time. So if you need more survivability, this is also great. Okay, but by far the two most useful and most commonly useful items are going to be your Rotten Hardtack and Seaweed. Okay, so they give you a full heal, and all of these full items, they do not take a turn to use, so they are even better than potions in the sense that, you don't have to waste a turn using them, and just eat them from temporary inventory, and straight up you get the effect that the food item does. So Rotten Hardtack and Seaweed are full heal items, which is really good. Rotten Hardtack will reduce your BTH by 10, and Seaweed, this is actually new, I didn't realize this, but it now increases your bonus by 10 as well when you eat it. Okay, so ideally you want to use Seaweed first, and if you don't need to use Rotten Hardtack, then it'll be better because you don't need to take a penalty to your BTH just for using it. So these two are the most useful full items. Most of the time, these two should be sufficient to get you the win, but if you feel like you need more help, then do go ahead and pick up the other full items as well. Keep in mind that all full items have a cooldown tied to them, so it's not like you can spam full items every turn without a downside. So that is also something to keep in mind. Alright, another place that you can get full items is the same place where you get your 5 potions just now, which is on the Nibelheim forum. So let's go to the book 3 travel map, Shapeless Empire over here. Let's go to the forum. So hit right, and then here you want to go down, and you can talk to this guy, and this guy will give you red fruit, green fruit, and yellow fruit. Okay, so red fruit is the most useful one in my opinion. It increases your crit by 100 for one turn. This is great for skills that are not auto crit, and you want to deal the maximum amount of damage. One example that I can think of is probably Doom Knight V2's Inner Darkness nuke skill. If you want all the hits to crit and get the highest possible damage in the entire game, then you probably want to use this red fruit. Green fruit is health resist, which is not that useful in my opinion. And then there's also yellow fruit, which increases your all resist, which is also not that useful in my opinion. So yeah, you probably only want to get red fruit from here. Now, another method which you can use to get Rotten Hardtack and Seaweed is go to the book 3 travel map, and you want to go to the Drowned Fortress. I can't really remember where it is. Let me see if I can remember. No. Not over here. Brahma, is it here? Nope. Fairglade, is this the one? No. Green Guard. Wait, no, I already tried Green Guard. Doomwood? I'm sorry, I am searching for it now because I cannot remember where the hell is the Drowned Fortress. Oaklaw? No. This place? Also no. Maguswood? Oh yeah, there it is. Maguswood. Okay, Drowned Fortress over here on the map. Okay, I'm not gonna go through the exact location. You can find it by searching on the Battle forums. Or alternatively, I do think I have a short on this. That short was released quite a while back. So you guys can go ahead and check out the YouTube short if you want to know the exact location. I'll put the link to the short up in the top right corner of the screen right now so you guys can check it out. So there is Rotten Hardtack and Seaweed inside of this quest. You don't have to complete the quest to get it. You do have to go pretty deep in the quest to get both of them. This is a 100% free way of getting it. You do not need to spend any defenders medals. You do not need to spend any gold to go ahead and get these two food items. Alright, next up, let us talk about weapon specials. Okay, so I'll go ahead and go out of this quest first. Okay, weapon specials, this is something that was changed just recently, and by recently, I mean literally only last month. Okay, so the only weapon special that I recommended in part 1's video was actually Blade of Awe, which heals your HP and your MP by 4%. That is the most useful one in my personal opinion, but there are other weapon specials that are also pretty decent. Okay, so first up, one of them is if you just want HP healing, you can go ahead and get Twilly Star from Igor's replica weapons. Okay, let me see if I have it. I think I have it here. Okay, let me search for it. Twilly Star, Twilly. Yeah, there you go. Okay, Twilly Star. Whoops, inventory is full. Bring this over. Alright, so Twilly Staff is the best HP healing weapon in the entire game currently, but this is only if you do not need an MP heal, then you can perhaps go ahead and use Twilly Staff. Okay, so you can also trigger the heals manually now. I forgot if this is on demand or on hit. Okay, so what they did is they changed the on attack special. So on attack specials no longer exist. They've now been changed to on demand specials. I also got some questions asking me what in the world is this over here. Okay, so this is the on-demand weapon specials, and looks like Twilly's one is on hit, not on demand. Okay, so we'll see if we can get it to trigger over here. Okay, Moglin healing magic, there we go. So now it's healing 56 to 64 HP per turn for 5 turns inclusive. So yeah, this is the best healing weapon overall for HP. And if you want MP, you depending on how much MP maximum MP you have, you can go for Wallick's Gift from the Teacher and Student Challenge. You can go for Wallick's Staff, or you can also go ahead and go for the Quad Staff. Okay, if you have a higher maximum MP, then Wallick's Gift and Wallick's Staff is the way to go. Otherwise, you can go ahead and use Quad Staff if you don't have any Wisdom trained at all. Apart from all of those, there's also a bunch of other weapon specials, like the weapon specials that do damage over time. Notably, the 4th of July weapons, your Doom weapons, and your Destiny weapons. All of those deal has a dot effect tied to, I believe it's on hit. Yeah, those are on hit specials, so you can go ahead and use those. If you need a little bit more damage boost, if you're just lacking that bit more damage, you can go ahead and use those. Try and fish for those specials and hope you get lucky. Okay, there are also other defensive specials. Okay, the most recent one being Zorbek's True Staff. This is probably the most crazy and best weapon special so far, and this comes from the very recent in challenge. By recent, I mean literally it was this week's in challenge. Okay, so it gives you 150 NPM. On top of that, it also gives you 25 boost and bonus. That is insane. It is the best weapon special in the game currently, in my opinion. So if you need a extra defensive shield, or you want to boost up for the maximum highest nuke possible, this is also something you can consider using. In the past, we had the weapon specials that reduce your opponent's resist, notably the Ice Scythes. Okay, Ice Scythes reduce your opponent's ice resist by used to be 30, now it's only 10. Okay, now they've streamlined all of the weapon specials that reduce the enemy's specific elemental resist, and it's only the highest one is only -10 right now. So that kind of sucks. Okay, it's not very useful anymore in my opinion, so I do not think the extra 10% damage boost is actually worth using, unless it just so happens you're needing to use that particular element. But then again, I do not think 10% is worth. It's probably better to get the overall best in stock weapon over here, which I have, which is the Exalted Apotheosis. So let's go ahead and showcase the Zorbek Staff special, because why not? Oh, so all of them have a cooldown. Okay, so depending on the special's activation rate, okay, that will tell you how many turns of cooldown it has. So it's based on 20 turns. So 20 turns is a 0% activation. No, not 0%. That's like I think it's 1% or something like that. I can't really remember. Yeah, 5% activation rate will be a 20 turn cooldown basically. And special with a 34% activation rate, we have a 3-turn cooldown. Yeah, this is based off the design notes. Okay, don't want to do the math in my head and get something wrong. So yeah, obviously more powerful specials will have longer cooldowns, and you start off the battle with half of the cooldown. So if originally it was going to be a 20-turn cooldown, you start off the battle with only a 10-turn cooldown, and you can go ahead and swap out, okay, with a different weapon special without penalty on your very first turn. However, if it's after the first turn of combat, you'll put the new on-demand special on either full cooldown or retain a higher previous cooldown. So apart from the first turn of battle, make sure you get the special that you want before you head right in. Okay? And I'll show you Zorbek Staff special. 150 NPM, 25 boost and bonus for 2 turns. And the NPM lasts for 1 turn, but that's really good enough. Best weapon special in the game, period. Okay, the challenge, I don't think is very difficult. I just think it's very tedious because of Arctics and it's crazy healing. But that is it for weapon specials. Okay, I won't cover everything because there's just too many to cover. But these are my thoughts and recommendations on what weapon specials you can use. Next up, and the last point that I want to talk about is stats. Okay, a lot of people ask me what stats should I use, and the answer to that is it depends on what class you are using. Okay, so for as a general rule of thumb, for in challenges, you always want 200 points in endurance. This is non-negotiable. Without the endurance, you are not going to survive long enough in any of the in challenges, except for maybe the first few in challenges that are slightly easier. But yeah, this is super duper important. Okay, 200 endurance. This is non-negotiable. You need 200 points in this in this endurance stat to ensure that you have enough HP to survive through all of the attacks that the monster is going to inflict on you. Okay, next up, you probably want 200 points in any of these three main stats. Either strength, if your class doesn't have many crits. Okay, so you want to use strength for more base damage. Dexterity, if your class has a lot of dot effects. One example would be like your necromancer class. You rely a lot on dot or damage over time effects, then you can go for dexterity. Or if your class has a lot of auto crit skills or very strong auto crit skill, you can use intellect. Okay, this will increase your crit damage. There are also special exceptions to this 200 point main stat rule. Okay, the two examples that I can think of right now is pyromancer and ranger class. Those will give you an extra bonus if you split your stats. Okay, for ranger, you'll be balancing it between strength and dexterity. And for pyromancer, I believe it's between dexterity and intellect, if I'm not mistaken. So I think these are the only two classes that are the exception. Other than that, all classes you almost always want 200 points in a main stat. Okay, and which main stat to go for, like I said, it depends on your class. Okay, if you're not sure, you can ask me in the comments. You can go ahead and go to my Discord and ask me as well. Okay, the last 45 points. Okay, you among these three substats, which one should you go for? Wisdom gives you more MP. I feel like you should put it in wisdom if your class eats up a lot of mana, like your Katu Adept, like your Doom Knight class. This is going to be useful, especially if you're not planning on using a special that can heal your MP, or if you're going to be in a long drawn out battle. So this will be useful. Luck doesn't really do much in my opinion. It increases a bit of crit, increases a bit of defenses, and a bunch of other small things, but really, I think luck is probably the stat that is not worth investing in. So just no, don't put any points in this. And charisma, what the most useful thing that charisma can do is not increasing your pet damage, but rather it is in decreasing the cooldown of your pet skills. Okay, and the pet I'm talking about here is the dragon pet, because the dragon is the best pet in the entire game, and reducing its cooldown by 1 is going to be pretty useful. They still haven't changed this tooltip over here yet, but it no longer increases your EXP and go from battle. So yeah, that has already been changed. It doesn't do that anymore. Okay, of course it does increase your pet damage, but I think the important part is reducing the cooldown of the skills, and every 50 points reduces the cooldown by 1. So this can be useful for your dragon's damage skills if you need more damage, and it can also be useful for the shield skill as well as the heal skill, or any other boost or buff skills that you need from your dragon. And that, I think, is going to cover it all for the in preparation guide part 2. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If this video has helped you out, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel if you guys would like to see more of such future content. And if you have any suggestions for other videos you guys would like to you'd like me to make, please do leave them down in the comments section below as well. Till the next time, I'm your host Korriban Gaming. Peace out.